Well, the mix was quite strong outside of IT, which closed in flat, green nonetheless, but flat. Realty was the big gainer, 2.7% higher. Nifty PSU Bank was up 2.7%. Metals were up 2.6%. So some real big gainers. Of course, consumer durables led the charge. I spoke about that, 3.5% higher on the consumer durable index. Osho Krishnan joining us. He's Chief Manager, Technical and Derivative Research at Angel One, to give us a perspective of how he's viewing markets. Osho, talk to us very quickly about what the move on the Nifty means today, and what does this open us up to in terms of levels, in your opinion?
Very good evening, Harsh. Firstly, thank you for having me at the show. There is no doubt market has been quite supportive, quite bullish in last two trading sessions, but these kind of sentiments or these kind of bullish movement can be seen as a sentiment-driven market. It's not a technical reversal that we are witnessing on the chart structure as of now, because if we will be portraying the chart on the daily time frame, then still Nifty is hovering with a cycle of lower lows, lower highs kind of a pattern. So until we see a decisive surge beyond 23,800, till that time, these market or these kind of market sentiments can be seen only because of the sentiment turnaround in the geopolitical concerns. But overall, no doubt there has been positive developments. Technically, there has been the initial signal of a reversal. The 14-day RSI has seen a positive divergence from the price chart of Nifty. So I'm expecting that in the coming period, there might be a positive pullback that can be seen in Nifty, but 23,600 will be the first considerate hurdle for Nifty. Even if it breaches 23,600, and 23,800 will be the most formidable hurdle. If it breaches 23,800, then from there onwards, one can turn extremely bullish in the benchmark index. So overall, dips should be utilized. 23,000 is having a very strong support. So any dip towards 23,000 or 2380 levels on the spot levels can be seen as buying opportunity. 23,600 followed by 23,800 is the positional target that one can expect in Nifty for the time.
Key levels to watch out for on the Nifty. Hi, Osho. Talk to us about the move in the broader end of the market today, particularly the small cap names. Your names like PCBL, Godfrey Phillips, Agility, Affle, all of them were doing very well in trade. What is your outlook when it comes to the broader end of the market? And do you believe that the momentum over there could surpass the kind of gains that we're seeing in the Nifty?
Definitely, the market breadth has been very positive today. The whole indices or the whole equity market has seen a very strong advanced decline ratio. So that's a very positive output, especially after the correction that we have seen. So majority mid-cap and small-cap counters might see some kind of outperformance because the kind of sell-off that we have been into in the last couple of weeks. So from here onwards, if there will be a revival, mid-cap and small-cap can see some kind of a strong momentum going forward. But again, as I said, that till the time volatility index does not cool off below the zone of 18 or 16 odd levels, till that time one should maintain a cautious approach and try to utilize dips to accumulate position in some of the sound counters. But no doubt, if there will be any kind of positive development from the geopolitical concerns, then one may look for outperformance in mid and small cap counters.
Okay, and Osho, I know we spoke a little bit about this IT kind of players, and Agility being one of them, healthcare plus IT in combination. How do you look at the IT index? Because such a choppy day, right? We started in the negative, did 1% higher, and thereafter we've slipped entirely, given up all of those gains. How should we look at IT? And especially when you look at the TCS intraday chart, you'll see just how sharp the slip was. I'm trying to get a perspective. How should one play it?
See, overall IT index has quite relatively outperformed the benchmark index in the last couple of weeks. So definitely, if there will be kind of a revival in the benchmark index, we can see some kind of underperformance as well in the IT space. But again, looking at the overall index front, the whole counter have seen very strong stagnation or consolidation around the current level. So I'm expecting that from a medium-term point of view, this index provides very good opportunity to accumulation in majority of the counters like TCS, Infosys, TechM. These counters are looking very attractive at current levels. But again, the growth from here onwards can again be very gradual, very flat in the coming period. But overall, the concern for IT is not the geopolitical concerns or the Middle East war. It is something else, AI disruption. So that will take place for these counters to have a very strong revival. But at these levels, from technical point of view and even from valuation perspective, I expect that one should definitely start accumulating IT counters, and we can expect a decent returns coming forward from medium to long term point of view.
Okay, so that's on the IT index and some of the IT names. But also hold that thought. We'll come back to you for your stock-specific recommendations today. But before, a lot of stocks that were doing really well today. Osho, before we talk about some of these names, share with us your stock-specific ideas. What's looking good in the market right now?
First counter, which is looking quite positive to me, is from the pharma space. Emcure is looking very positive because there has been positive traction in the counter, and in today's trading session, there has been a very strong breakout on the daily time frame chart. So I'm expecting that going forward, this counter can see very strong performance. So technically, it has given a breakout, and one can look for buying opportunity at current closing levels 1590 approx. On the higher end, the first target that I'm expecting from a very short-term point of view is 1660, while it will be advisable to keep a stop loss of 1540. The other counter where I am expecting a kind of a potential reversal is from the private sector bank. Kotak Bank is looking quite positive to me. Recently, it has tested the bullish gap that it has made in the month of January 2025. And from there onwards, on the RSI front, we are witnessing a positive divergence in the counter. So at current levels, the risk reward is very much favorable in the counter. From a very short-term point of view, one can look for buying or accumulation in this counter at current levels. 362 will be the advisable stop loss. While on the higher end, the first target that I am expecting is 382, but that's from a trader's point of view. But from a medium-term point of view, I'm expecting 400, 420 kind of a zone that can be seen in the coming future. So Kotak Bank is looking very lucrative, and one may look for buying opportunity.
I want to take your opinion, Osho, on PCBL. It's the top gainer on the Nifty 500. Volumes were at 50 times the 20-day average. So very strong volume surge is what we've seen on this one. What's your take? Sustainable, the kind of move that we've seen?
Such kind of movement in PCBL has been seen recently in the month of February, but again, from the higher zone, the zone of nearly 310, which is the 100-day exponential moving average, the counter have seen strong rejections as well. So technically, the counter is still into a weakness phase. There is a corrective phase in the counter, but recent movement, with today's movement, the counter has seen a very strong resurgence from very strong and historical support. Such level has been tested in the month of June 2024, and from there onwards, the counter have started gaining traction. So today, it will be very early to say that there has been reversal in the counter or not, but definitely if it sustains above the zone of 310, then from there onwards, from a positional and from medium-term point of view, one can definitely look for buying opportunity. But at current levels, only aggressive traders can take positions. 310 will be the target, and 250 should be the advisable stop loss in the count.
Okay, so that's the technical take coming in on PCBL. But on that note, Osho, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for taking the time out and speaking to us today. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers, with that, it's time to slip into a very short break. More news and updates on the other side, and more importantly, the setup that you need to be looking forward to on Friday will follow as well. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.